It's the season of Christmas and I can't wait to see what Santa Claus brings me this year as a present. But wait, I'm Hungarian. And it's not Santa Claus who comes to us during this time of the year, but then who does? And what are our traditions? What do we eat during Christmas? Let me show you in this video. So when does the festive season start? Well, normally it's dictated by the Advent calendar. However, there are convenience stores who just place the Christmas chocolate on the shelves somewhere in the middle of October. And then Mariah Carey again comes back and it's all over the radio waves. But in reality, the festive season begins 4 Sundays before Christmas Eve. That's when we light the first candle on the Advent wreath, and the other 4 we will light on the following Sundays as well. But for children, this isn't the most interesting way of counting down the remaining time until Christmas Eve, but we do have another type of Advent calendar specifically for them. This is a chocolate Advent calendar starting from December the 1st all the way to Christmas Eve on December the 24th. And with each slot, there is 1 sweet chocolate for children. I loved this as a child. It made the countdown more interesting because every morning you get 1 sweet chocolate. Let's see what awaits us on December the 1st. How do you open this? This here is actually Szerencsi chocolate, which is from Szerencs, a place here in Hungary where for a very long time they are making tasty chocolates. So if you come here and go to the convenience stores, maybe look for a Hungarian brand like Szerencsi. But there is one more day for children that they can look forward to, and that's December the 6th, the day of Saint Nicholas. So as I said in the beginning of this video, it's not Santa Claus who comes to us on Christmas Eve. Our version of Santa Claus is Saint Nicholas, or as we call it here in Hungary, Mikulás. Now, Saint Nicholas was a bishop and the patron of children, so no wonder on his day it's all about children getting some nice chocolates, or maybe twigs and coal if they were bad. Because Mikulás had a little helper called the Krampus, who looked like a demon figure and was kind of frightening. And if you didn't behave that year, well, he was coming for you. So when we were children, the evening before December the 6th, we had to clean our boots, and on the next morning, if we were good that year and our boots were clean, the boots were full of nice chocolate. And maybe sometimes twigs, just to remind us to be always good and don't be bad kids. But some of my friends' families celebrated this a little bit differently. For example, they had to hang their socks and those were filled with chocolates, or the chocolates were placed in front of their bedroom doors. So that was the first thing they saw in the morning. Now, one thing to note is that most of these traditions might differ from family to family, even here in Hungary. But I'm really curious, what are your traditions? Leave a comment below and let's share some heartwarming stories of the festive season. But one thing for sure, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, most probably during this season you will be eating a lot. So let's talk about some of the sweet things that we eat here in Hungary. Probably one of the most famous ones, Bejgli, which is a rolled and filled pastry that comes in many different versions, but the 2 most famous ones are filled with walnuts or poppy seeds. And the reason why we eat walnuts is because apparently those are supposed to keep the bad luck away, and poppy seeds bring good wealth. My favorite one is the one that's filled with poppy seeds, but eating this right now on this video shoot might not be a good idea because the poppy seeds get stuck between your teeth. This one here is actually like a miniature version of the Bejgli, but it's called the Pozsonyi Kifli or Bratislava Crescent, and it's also filled with walnuts or poppy seeds. Next we have Zserbo, which is a layered pastry that has walnut and apricot jam in it, and on the top some chocolate. Now, the name Zserbo might be familiar for you if you've been to the center of Budapest at the Vörösmarty Square, where we have the Zserbo Café, which is named after Zserbo Emil, who was one of the most famous confectioners here in Hungary. And you can see other kinds of sweets here on this plate, like the mézes krémes, the linzer, or the hókifli. And what's common among these is their long shelf life. It takes time to make a lot, and big families need to eat a lot. So our grandparents started to make these weeks ahead of Christmas so that when the time comes, there will be a lot for us to have. The next important date is December the 24th. That's when we have Christmas Eve, but before that we have to start by decorating the tree. We come together as a family. I used to decorate it with my mom, and during that time my dad used to be in the kitchen making the wonderful food for that evening. Now, besides the regular decorations, there's one sweet thing that we also put on the tree, and that is the lovely Szaloncukor. We hang these sweet delicacies on the tree, and they come in a lot of different flavors. Even some larger brands are also producing this for Hungarians, because our families here buy about a kilogram in a year, so about 3 boxes of this. Now, in the old times, these were filled with jelly, and honestly, they were not really my favorite, but over time there are some more modern flavors, like for example coconut, hazelnut, nougat, and this one is filled with butter caramel, which is one of my favorites. But what kind of dishes do we eat during Christmas? Well, most Hungarian families will definitely eat fish, because apparently fish scales bring a lot of money. And also the way the fish moves, smooth and fast in the waters, symbolizes the progress into the new year. Now, one of the most common fish dishes is fisherman's soup, and all the families have their own very specific take on the recipe, but what's really common among them is the wonderful paprika that we put into fisherman's soup. And as the second part of the course, we usually have some fried fish together with some potato salad. Then once we are done with dinner, have ourselves filled with fish and some nice sweets, we go to the Christmas tree, where suddenly the presents have appeared. But who brought them there? Well, according to us Hungarians, it's little Jesus who brings the presents on Christmas Eve. But before I could open the presents as a child, well, my parents had this lovely idea of asking me to sing Kis karácsony, nagy karácsony, Little Christmas, Large Christmas. You don't want to hear me doing that, right? Kis karácsony, nagy karácsony. It was a terrible experience, but after that I could open up the presents and I was a happy child. And as part of the celebration, we also waved around a sparkler, essentially a miniature fire hazard that still occasionally causes work for the firefighters. I am not comfortable holding this. Now, the following days, December the 25th and December the 26th, are the days when relatives travel around the country to meet each other and eat a lot more food. Like for example, duck with some nice purple cabbage, or stuffed cabbage, one of my favorite ones, which is really ideal during the Christmas time because you can make a lot at the same time, and they also have a very long shelf life. During the days past December 26th, the festive season starts to slow down. We take some well-deserved rest, we are on holiday, because it takes a lot of work to prepare for Christmas. All the food that we have to make, all the presents we have to buy, all the decorations. This is the period of the year when we can kick back and relax, enjoy all the food that we had, and then have some nice party time during the New Year's Eve celebrations. And officially, the festive season ends with the January 6th Epiphany. That is when we take off the decorations from the tree and in the house, and that marks the end of Christmas period. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and perhaps when you come during the festive season here to Hungary, you may try a nice fisherman's soup or a stuffed cabbage. And if you want to see more content like this and you're interested in Hungarian culture and what to do here in Budapest, then check out some of our other videos, and maybe also hit the subscribe button, because then you will definitely see what we will be up next. Thank you very much for watching, happy holidays, and see you guys in our future videos. Bye!